It is your boy, the Mulatto Ronin, back on at it again with another banger and fire video for y'all's out there today. They're y'all. And guys, I gotta talk to my fellow light skins out there today because, I really do gotta discuss about why we need to really gatekeep our image and us light skins because I got this comment right here the other day from my other video I recently did. And, basically this dude was saying, he was like, hey man, I understand the mulatto representation, but why light skin? So only mulattoes with light skin is permitted. About the deep brown skins or the really dark skins, that are mixed. Okay, I'm about to break this down and really explain to you why us light skinned, racially ambiguous type of people out here need to really gatekeep, really the most. And this is not a diss to the darker skins that are, they're also mixed as well. At the end of the day, we already know as people, mostly everybody has a mixture. But when it comes down to this particular phenotype, you need to really gatekeep it because you have to understand we're not the majority here in America. Like, you're not going to see this phenotype. You're going to see it, but when it comes down to us with Afro type features with it, this is a rarity walking around here in America, and you're a minority within a minority. So you have to gatekeep it. And because listen, the difference between a person like me and a dark skinned person, because I got a homeboy, back in Florida, he's black and Puerto Rican. But at the same time, I do know Puerto Ricans, they can be dark skinned as well. But, I don't know his family and stuff like that, but he's very dark skinned. You can see kind of a little bit of mix, but I do understand. Yes, there are dark skinned, mixed people as well. But the difference between me and him, he can walk into the black community and people are going to see him as black and he's going to be able to be very, very well accepted. Like he's not going to have much of an issue. Me, on the other hand, I come around, I'm seen as a threat, no matter where I go. That's the difference between me and him. When you got this phenotype, guys, look at me. Look at the way I talk. I'm country as hell. Y'all know how I be. What's going on there, y'all? And I'm from Florida too, got that southern accent. Guys, look at me. I look white as fuck. Like, come on now. And then on top of that, when it comes down to being somebody that in terms of the black community is going to feel more comfortable in terms of like trusting and really putting their message out there, really building and growing with, it's going to be a dark skinned counterpart compared to me, because, and at the same time, this phenotype with Afro type features, you don't want to fall into a category where you feel like you're halfway accepted, but you're halfway not. That's how it feels with this phenotype in the black community. That's the difference between me and you. You, as a dark skinned person, you get to reap the benefits of the black community. Like you're not gonna have to go through my type of experience because the black community looks at me as like I'm privileged, and that's not true at all. Like they think this whole pretty privilege and all that shit. No, like if anything, the more attractive you are, I'm gonna be real with you guys. You're like the more attractive you are, and keep in mind, I'm a minority within a minority. You're gonna get treated like shit. I'm letting you know that right now. Yeah, like like that needs to really be like really well known. Like, I mean, you're gonna get the most hate, hands down. And we're not the majority. We're a minority within a minority. So, we gotta move differently. But I do understand why, a lot of people that look like me choose to run with the stereotypes and, do what's popping because that's what's going to take them the farthest and really get their social status and everything up. I understand that. But at the end of the day, we need to really work together and really build on our own. And listen, this is no hate or nothing against the black community, because at the end of the day, if there's anybody that's more accepting, it will be them. And at the same time, if there are anybody that's going to go to bat for the black community, it's going to be the racially ambiguous mulatto type of person. But at the same time, I have to understand that because of this phenotype, and look at me, guys, like, I mean, you can clearly see some Eurocentric type of features on me. You can see that clearly. So, you know, and then to a woman as well, guys, like, listen, like, I do get attention from black women and stuff from time to time, but at the same time, I have had black women that have told me that, listen, I don't see you as black. And yeah, like, that's not something that's really spoken about, you know, like, and it's better to just be yourself and know who you are, because yes, you're walking around looking like this, black people really ain't gonna see you as black. Like, yeah, they'll still kick it with you and stuff like that, but at the same time, if you think you're gonna speak for black people and get the same experience and the same benefits, and you're a light-skinned counterpart, you're crazy. That's the difference between a light-skinned, racially ambiguous mulatto type of person like me compared to a darker-skinned counterpart. You know, you're going to be able to fit in and still reap the benefits of the black community compared to me. You know, like, we're the outcasts. This phenotype is the outcast. You know, like, people don't want to compete with this. But our numbers are growing. And like I said in my other videos, I am working with, you know, trying to reach out to organizations, politicians, so we can have the golden people to be an actual class here in America. You know, that's what I refer to us as. We're not black, we're not white, we're the golden class here in America. This consists of the mulattoes, the Blasians, you know, like the, you know, like you got the mix between black and, you know, like a few Hispanics out there, you know, but yeah, you know, like, that's what I consider the golden people. And in terms of gatekeeping the light skin, in my opinion, this is the darkest, I would say, in terms of like us golden people. This is the darkest, I would say, right here. Like, y'all see this woman right here? You know, yeah, she's Blasian. She looks more like she might be black and Korean looking at her. But I would say, yeah, you know, like, that's probably the darkest shade. After that is really just, that's where I would cut it off, in my opinion. Because the reason why I'm saying that, because her phenotype, and then she got the curly hair too on top of it, and you can clearly see that she's mixed. You put her in the black community, yeah, she's gonna catch that hate too. You know, but anything darker than that, I feel like she'll be a lot more accepted by a long shot. And that's just the thing, you know, it's acceptance, you know. So, like, but at the same time, you know, if you're very racially ambiguous, I mean, yeah, like, you're in your own lane in society, you know, like, as a man or woman. Granted, the woman can still reap the benefits probably the most in the black community, but look what she got to go through, you know. And unfortunately, the racially ambiguous mulatto type of man, he doesn't have any economic or social power like that. I mean, yeah, we got some social power, but it's not enough of us to really set a narrative for us. You know, and I don't want us to be dictated in terms of our image by the black community, because our image has been tarnished. So we're literally rebuilding our brand, rebuilding ourselves, you know, and that's very, very important. So, yeah, you know, like I said earlier, you know, I'm working on getting us into, you know, politicians and really getting the golden people, the golden class, our own particular, you know, race here in America. So that way we can set our own narratives, because there is going to be a lot more race mixing going on. And, you know, I want these kids and the future generations to have a safe space and to know who, like, basically know who exactly they are out here. Because if we don't get that under control, we're going to have a lot of confused children growing up. And I don't want to see that. You know, that's the biggest reason why a lot of white people don't really want to race mix with us, because for that reason of confusion, you know. And then on top of that, when it comes down to economics and stuff, you know, like that's stuff to really worry about, you know, because it's like, dang, you know, if you're a person like me, like a lot of us are, if you're moving smart, you're staying out of trouble, even like if you're a black person, you know, like, I mean, you're still going to move at a much faster rate and get the more better support compared to me, you know, because when, like, the man don't get that same type of like pretty privilege that y'all think, guys. Like, y'all, like, we just don't. You know, when people see you as competition, you get a lot of doors closed. Like, I hope y'all know that, you know. So for us, we have to be more creative. We have to really build. We have to get ourselves into positions of power. You know, there's a reason why we tend to go a lot farther than a lot of people. It's for that reason, because we don't really have much of a safety net. So for us, we do need to start gatekeeping our light skin so people can't set the wrong narratives and fuck up our image even more, And we got to get up in, like, I really hate politics, but we got to get into politics. And this is honestly a perfect time, because a lot of black people, they have been stepping away from politics. So this is really the perfect time for us to come in and be like, hey, we need our class. We need proper representation. This is really our time to shine, if I'm keeping it honest with you. And then on top of that, another thing I want to mention, as men, we do need to make sure that we take our time. Listen, I'm not telling you what to do in terms of women, but I think as you're building your body, building everything about you, you need to make the mulatto woman number one. The racially ambiguous woman needs to be number one, in my opinion. Why do I say that? Like I said, we're a minority within a minority. I get it. We tend to pull really and honestly just relate to a lot of times a lot of white women. That's usually who a lot of us tend to really stick with. But at the same time, guys, we do need to do our best to get a racially ambiguous mulatto type of woman, because with her, I see that she's a minority within a minority, and I see what the communities or everybody's doing with her. Like, they're really putting her through it. And as men, we do got to step up on that. We gotta do something about that. Listen, I'm not out here trying to control any type of woman, nothing like that, but I'm just saying, like, we got to make a safe space for our women out here. For our, like, guys, for our racially ambiguous women, they need a safe space, and until we build, like, and really get in bigger numbers and get the respect and the safety and certain things in place here in America, then that's when I would say we got the leeway to start race mixing a bit more. But again, I'm not telling you guys what to do in terms of that, but I do think it is the smartest thing to do, because we are a minority within a minority. It would make the most sense to try to get a mixed race, racially ambiguous type of woman out there, a golden race woman, that is that's the goal, I would say. Me personally, guys, you already know the type of woman I like, somebody that looks like this. I'm open to other women too. You got tattoos. I'm not stressing about that. I care about your character and how you move as a person. And lately I have been coming across a few, mulatto women lately, every now and then. And yeah, we just been clicking, like, you just, like, when you come across certain ones, you just like, oh yeah, like, then that's when it hits you, be like, yeah, I got to get me a mulatto racially ambiguous woman, because when you click with one, it just, man, it's a beautiful thing, and then with me doing what I'm doing, this is the perfect time to be with one. And, like I said, this is what I like, if I can find one with, like, red hair, freckles, she got freckles like me, but she got red hair, like, oh my goodness, man, that's what I really do like, that natural red hair. Like, yeah, I mean, if I can find one look like that, that'd be awesome. But at the end of the day, I'm open to all different, type of racially ambiguous woman. But yeah, just one that definitely carries herself well, hit the gym, nothing crazy, 3 days a week, and just got a good head on her shoulders. And honestly, when I look around and when it comes down to women, I feel like the woman that is really moving the most smartest out here is the racially ambiguous mulatto type of woman. When I'm looking around, guys, I've been hearing y'all in the YouTube streets, man. Shout out to some of y'all, cause y'all really changing the narrative. And I see everybody doing everything that they can to really keep us apart and spreading all these false information about us. But I do believe that is going to change, because I'm looking around, I'm just like, we're really the only group that's really going somewhere. No offense to the blacks, no offense to the whites, but it's just like, I feel like the ones that's really, like, striving for really to go really far, it's us. So we need to really work together out here. And again, I'm not telling y'all what to do, who to date, but keep in mind, we are a minority within a minority, and I think it is best suited for us to try our best to really, stick with us, Then on top of that, us men keep on building yourselves up. And I know one thing with me, when I get back to Florida, I'm definitely going to barber school. So yeah, I'm taking me up a trade. I never been to college or nothing like that, but yeah, I gotta pick up a trade, man. Seeing how this world is changing, I gotta at least have a trade on me. And so yeah, being a barber soon, so I can't wait for that. So have a better stability and everything coming soon. So, and being my own boss, so which a lot of us need to be anyway. But and I can take that skill anywhere, because I'm gonna be real with you, man. I don't really want to raise a family like that here in America. If I do, I'm probably gonna homeschool my kid and probably put him in local sports, just around different places and stuff like that. But America's got to really change economically before I make that, like, really go out there and go make a decision like that. Or what everything I'm doing with this YouTube channel, and even getting into politics and to spread the news and everything about the racially ambiguous people, the golden people. When I see that I reach a certain status, then that's when I'll consider children, everything, but until then, I really am taking my time out here, really taking my time to get what I want. And hey, if I meet somebody along the way, that's fantastic. But, at the end of the day, just building, do the best that you can as a man. But yeah, this is why I personally believe that we should gatekeep as light-skinned people, because like I said earlier, man, this phenotype, this shit offends people. This, like, when you're borderline white, but you still got Afro type features, and you look and also you look pretty good with it, you're gonna get a lot of hate coming your way. So that's why, responding to this dude here, on the screen, that's why I say that this is for light skin. No offense to the dark skins, or none of y'all, but it's just like, you guys will have more acceptance compared to me. We're the outcasts of society. I hope y'all know that. This phenotype is not liked. And with the Afro type features, you're the scum of the earth here in America. You, on the other hand, you're dark skinned. You're going to get way more acceptance than me. That's the difference. So that's what I really want to make clear, and why us light skinned, racially ambiguous need to gatekeep in terms of our image and, control our narratives, because otherwise we're going to get pimped out and screwed over by everybody, so. But it is your boy, the Mulatto Ronin. Like and subscribe, share. Y'all take it easy.